All right, hello there. This is my late February pickups. I actually went to up north for work, and I was able to do some game hunting while I was there. I was there for like a whole week, so it was up near like South Bend and Fort Wayne area, that kind of area. So picked up quite a bit. Um, Probably spent a little too much on some of them, but it was a good trip. I got a lot of good stuff. Hit a lot of pawn shops that had some good prices. Went to a few game stores, and a few flea markets as well, and found some stuff there too. So it's really interesting, when you go to different areas, what places actually have and how much they can differ. Some flea markets there's barely a game in sight, and then some you go to they have like a dedicated video game vendor, and sometimes there's some deals to be found there, which is really good. The first pickup on the left here is actually the only Facebook Marketplace deal. Since I was there, I did a quick search to see if there's any deals I wanted to pick up, and I did find one. And it just worked out that I was able to go to this, go and get this pickup. While I was there. This one was a little strange because I guess the guy worked thirds or something, so he put the games in like a drawer on his porch and messaged me. He was like, "Yeah, you can go by anytime and just pick up the games and leave the money there." So kind of very trusting, and of course I left the money, but it was very strange. If it was maybe in a sketchier part of the neighborhood, maybe I wouldn't have gone, but I looked it up on Google Maps and was like, looks like an okay, like just row of houses. So yeah, I went and the pickup went fine, and I left the money and all that. So let me go through that. This is $25 for 17 games. A lot of disc space, but there's some good stuff in here. Um, here. First one was Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, PS2. Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice with PS3. Kingdom Hearts, PS2. It's a nice one. Legend of Legaia for PS1. Just the disc, but I definitely need a copy of Legend of Legaia. And these are a little bit scratched up, but not too bad. Mobile Suit Gundam Federation versus Xeon, PS2. Vice City, GTA Vice City, PS2. Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Brave Fencer. No, this is Samurai Legend Musashi. I always get those two mixed up. Killzone PS2. God of War PS2. So there's definitely some commons in here. Call of Duty World War, Final Frontiers, and Medal of Honor Frontline. Another Gundam, Mostly Gunner Encounters in Space. Wild Arms 3 for PS2. So that's a good one. Complete copy of Final Fantasy 9. Has all the 4 discs. That's good. Metropolis Mania 2. Didn't need that for the collection. And a Steelbook Final Fantasy 12 Collector's Edition. This one's pretty good. I have this, but my copy is like super roughed up. And this one's definitely a nicer condition. There it is if you haven't seen it. I guess someone left a note about the Zodiac Spear, but pretty cool. So yeah, not bad for 25. Obviously the RPGs in there are the ones that I kind of bought it for. So I think that it was worth it. Even to get some disc based, I'll be able to put some of those in my collection, which is always good. Okay, this next stack here. This was a pawn shop pickup. Bought a bunch of PS3 games and 2 Wii games. They had their PS3 and Wii games on like a side spindle shelf, one of those rotating ones, and no price listed. But when I asked, he said, "Oh yeah, they're just $4," and he made the Wii games $3. So pretty good for So there were some decent titles in there, as you'll see. So I picked up most of them for my collection. A few of them I already have, but I think they were worth picking up for $4. So this was a total of 45 for 11 games. So the first one was Wii Sports, just the disc in there. You know, like I said, these are $3 a piece, and this is just a disc base only. Wii Sports. But then the PS4 games were Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Rayman Origins, Resident Evil Revelations, Enchanted Arms, Castlevania 2, Lords of Shadow 2. Oh, yeah, Lords of Shadow 2. Knight's Contract. That looked like an interesting fighter game. I don't know. Picked it up. Look interesting. Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition. I was happy to get the Gold Edition. Dragon Ball Z Battle Z. Pretty cool. Kind of a newer one, really. And Bayonetta. So, yeah, those are all $4 with the Wii, with the sports game being $3. You know, it was $45 because of the tax, of course. So I guess it's more like $4 a piece. But that's okay. Still good pickups, and I'm still kind of buying PS3 games, and I guess I'm technically collecting for PS3 with how many I'm picking up, because I even picked up more after that. But it's just how it goes. Okay, so here's an interesting one from the flea market. The big one here is these. So this is Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade, and as you see there, one thing I didn't really notice, I'll try to get a close up there, is that this says USA, and if you look it up, of course, The Binding Blade didn't come out in the USA, so I didn't notice that USA part. So I saw it and I was like, oh man, because I'm trying to get all the Fire Emblem games. And I was like, oh man, that could be a great pickup. It was $20. So I looked it up and I saw, oh, well, it's Japan only. It's like, oh, okay, I guess this is like a Japanese game. Not noticing the USA part. So I went ahead and bought it. And then I noticed that later. And I think it is a ROM hack. But I tested it and it works. And it does have like English in it. So do some looking at the ROM hack version. It's probably not worth $20, but it actually kind of worked out better, because if I wanted a copy, I probably would want the English copy over the Japanese copy, even if it's not authentic. At least that way I can play it. So I'm kind of on both fences. Like, yeah, I didn't get an authentic copy, but also I got an English version, which is better for me to actually play it. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of the collector's mindset versus the I just want to play these games mindset. But it was interesting pickup, so I'm glad I got it. It really does look. The label really does look good on it, so. But very interesting. That flea market also had some decently cheap SNES games, so I picked up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for $5 and a Mortal Kombat for $5. And there's also this PS1 game, Reloaded. It's only $1.50 for the disc only, so I picked it up. Hadn't heard of it, so I thought it was interesting. Okay, so the next stack was also some PS3 games and one Xbox 360 game. These were 6 games for $20. So a pretty good deal there as well. They just had kind of like a, I think it was buy two get one type of thing. So I went ahead and picked them up. Disgaea 4, Promised and Forgotten. Very good. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD. Resident Evil 5. Yeah, I think you saw I got the gold edition as well. Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Ninja Gaiden 3. This is the prequel to that other Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Might be a different version, I'm not sure. And I picked up Fable 2 as well. Figured why not. The next stack here is $40 for, let's see, what is it, 9 games. This is a pawn shop that was having a sale. It was like 50% off on like DS, Wii, and 25% off on PS4 and Xbox One. So picked out some stuff I was interested in. A lot of this is just going in the collection as well. This store was a little bad because I wouldn't say I messed up, but it's more like they messed up. And then unfortunately they didn't really honor it, but they had I went through their Game Boy games and they had a copy of Resident Evil Gaiden in there. And I knew it was rare, but I didn't know it was like an $80 game. Later I find out. But it did have some wear on the front, and they had $25 on it. And I had asked, oh, is this a part of the sale? And they were like, oh no, but we might be able to do better on it. And so they went and looked it up, and that's the part where it's like, if I hadn't asked about the sale, maybe I would have just been able to buy it. But like I said, I didn't know it was worth 80, so the 25 on there I was too high for me. So they looked it up, and the lady there started talking to somebody else like, oh, this seems like it's so underpriced, why is this 25? And they eventually were like, oh well, we can't sell it to you for this, it's gonna be like twice that amount. So pawn shops are a little strange sometimes in that they will have a posted price, but then they will go and be like, well, actually this is worth way more, so we're gonna charge you that way more price if you want to buy it. Which, I don't know, it kind of sucks, but I kind of get what they do it, which is why I much prefer places that just have general prices. So here are those pickups. Like I said, it was $40 for all these. First pickup was Final Fantasy Tactics A2. I had recently picked that up from GameStop complete, but went ahead and picked up a cart only for the cheap price, so I got it. Kingdom Hearts Recoded, cart only. Pretty cool. The one PS4 game I picked up was Dark Rose Valkyrie, and they had $10 on it, so it was like $7 to 25% off. Not too bad. The Wii games were Alone in the Dark, Bleach Shattered Blade. Yeah, some of these are pretty cheap already. Punch Out. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Muramasa Demon Blade looked interesting. Don't know if I've ever seen that game before. Kind of has an Odin Sphere look to me. And one PS2 D1 Professional Draft. So, pretty good on that. And that's just for the collection. Okay, the last pickup. These are just actually kind of random ones where, I went to quite a few stores, and a lot of them, unfortunately, I only picked up like one or two things, if not anything. So these are actually from multiple stores that I just happened to find something I was interested in. The first one was Metroid Prime with the bonus disc, $15. I kind of paid up on it a little bit, but I thought it was worth it to get with the bonus disc. I just don't see that very often where it's not, super expensive. So went ahead and grabbed it. They also had Mario parties for like 25, like Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2. So, that's about where it is. So I didn't pick them up. But that was from a flea market. So 15 is not bad. Another pawn shop, picked up a Prism for $1. This doesn't have the manual. Yeah. So I missed the manual, but I needed it. So picked it up. Black and Bruised for $2. Pretty good. Picked up El Shaddai for the Xbox 360 for $3. I don't think it's worth too much, but I thought it looked interesting. Definitely not a title you normally see, so go ahead and grab that. Picked up Battalion Wars 2 for $5. Just a little pickup. Got Fable 3 for $3, so I got Fable 2 and 3. And this Armored Core was also $3. The case is pretty crunched up on this, but Armored Core 5 birthday. Okay, so that was it for this first pickup. I'm probably gonna have 2 more sets because I did pick up quite a bit. I was pretty happy overall with how much I got to pick up. Getting to game hunt in areas that I normally don't is always fun because I learn more about the area, kind of games they have, kind of deals they have. Okay, here's another part of that long trip. Some of the stuff like the PS2 bundle that I'm going to show you here, I actually picked up the day before at like a garage sale. There's actually a few So I was able to do that. But let me just quickly go through this kind of bigger stuff that I picked up. The first thing was this Sora figure, metal figs. It's only $5 at a flea market, so I picked it up. Not sure I'm going to keep that. Um, Sora looks a little strange to me in that, so as you can see. So I don't know if I'll keep that one, but I thought it was interesting. Only $5. Picked up one of those little small arcade karate champs for $3. It's got the label ripped off the front. It is sealed, but I think the little joystick that goes on the D-pad fell off, so might have to open it just to get that. One of the pawn shops I went to, I pick up an Xbox One Connect. Looks to be in good condition. Paid like $10 or $12 for it, but yeah, these are worth like $40, so I thought that was a good deal to pick that up. The same place where I picked up those figures, they had a PC game I thought looked really interesting, Blaze and Blade Eternal Quest. So I went and picked it up. I don't know if that's worth anything, but it's interesting to see like kind of I'm pretty sure it's like an RPG game, but for the PC. So it was only $1. So if it's $1, it's interesting. I'll pick it up. I also picked up this arcade fighting stick. It's the Hori Fighting Stick 3. I'm pretty sure this comes off. Like you can see the plastic on top is coming off, but I'm pretty sure that comes off anyway, like a protective layer. It's only $2. I think it's for PS3, from what I found. So interesting little pickup there. Another flea market had a Game Boy Advance SP. They did have a note on it. It was $10. They had a note on it that they don't know if it works. I think the battery's dead on it because it does turn on. You can see there's like a little, you might not be able to see it, but in the screen there's like a little dent. But otherwise it works fine. It's just the battery doesn't charge. So I think that the battery's dead on it. But otherwise it does work. So $10, pretty good. I was basically taking a chance on it. So if I get a replacement battery, I'll at least have it. I don't have one anyway, so it'll be nice to add to the collection. Last thing was actually a bundle. I picked this up, like I said before, I went at a garage sale. Kind of got lucky. I just happened to go, and they had a PS2, a bunch of cables, and we worked out to $20. And I did 20. That's about where I usually am with systems like this anyway. But it had a whole bunch of controllers that would be just dirty. 3 controllers, and they also had a Wiimote in one of them for whatever reason. So I took that with it. And it has the cables and an Xbox cable. The power cord on this is pretty beat up, so that's probably not usable. And it did have a copy of Resident Evil Code Veronica X inside of it, so that was cool. Nice little bonus. Always fun to open up Wii's and PS2s and find games. $20 I think was worth it just for the controllers, and assuming it fully works. I didn't test it, but I'll probably just resell that PS2, so not a bad purchase for 20. Okay, here's the next part. You can see I got more games, a lot of NES going on here. I was just finding it, getting good prices, so happy about that overall. But I got some interesting stuff, so I was happy about that, adding a lot to the collections. The first stack was just a pawn shop I went to. I don't think I got any discount. They were already pretty cheap, so I got Cobra Triangle for $3. Gyromite for $3. Just 2 titles there. They had some cheap PS2 games, so I bought Burnout 3 Takedown. I wasn't sure if I had it. I didn't have a chance to look it up. I do actually have it, but it was only 50 cents for a complete copy, so doesn't matter anyway. Cheap enough. And also 50 cents was Disney Pixar Toy Story 3. So it's another nice title to add to the collection. This next one was probably one of my better pickups of all of them. This pawn shop was interesting because first of all, they let me go behind the counter. A lot of pawn shops have their games on shelves behind the counter, and I'm usually sitting there squinting, trying to see the games because I'm super nearsighted. And so when the guy saw me doing that, he was like, "Hey, you can go behind here and look." I was like, "Oh, thank you." but they had a lot of older games, and the prices on them were, okay. It was like 5, 7, up to 10. And when I picked out a few and a few that didn't have prices on them, he was like, well, that one that's 5, I'll do 3. Those 2, I'll do 2 apiece. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I went back and I started picking out a whole bunch of stuff. And basically, stuff that was 10, he did like 5 on, and stuff that was 5 or 7, they did like 3 or 2 on. So I picked up 2 stacks here, mostly NES games, but it was 43 was the total. Dig Dug 2, picked that up. Metal Gear Solid Snake's Revenge, there's a good one there. 8 Eyes, pretty cool. Adventure Island, this one's pretty beat up, but I went for it anyway. Like I said, that 8 didn't pay that. The Goonies 2, Star Soldier, and they're all in decent connection, a little dirty, of course. Breakthrough, except for that Adventure Island, of course. That one's not so great. Loops, and Adventures of Lolo. So, not bad. That was just the first stack of stuff, and then I also picked up Pokemon Snap. It's got some wear, but if we're getting it for $5, that's pretty good. I didn't have it, so happy to get that. Road Riot 4-wheel drive, that was only 3 anyway, so not much of a discount on that one. Picked up 2 Genesis games, Eternal Champions, which I don't think this is the manual for it. Looks like someone printed this out. Yeah. It looks very printed out, so not sure on that. I'll double check. But yeah, Eternal Champions. Of course, the top's a little messed up, but these didn't even have prices on them actually. So, and Demolition Man for the Genesis, which I knew this one was worth picking up because I've actually sold a copy before. It's complete, so to get that for like $3 basically is pretty good. Pretty good. The next stack was another pawn shop. I love it when I go to pawn shops and I immediately go to their row of games and I start seeing the prices like $2, $2, and I'm like, yes. But then unfortunately, not finding a lot, especially with PS2 at this point. Most places I go, even if they have a decent selection that's like not all sports titles, I'll still have to pass on most stuff because I already have it. Just common titles that aren't worth picking up for resale, and I already have for the collection. So, but that's okay. That's the part of the hunt and makes it more special when I actually find something I need. So this shop just picked up 3 things. I did pick up Mission Impossible for PS1 for $1. That was nice. TMNT, $2. I think this has a manual. Doesn't it? Yeah. Yes, it does. Yep. And then Hummer Badlands. So just a Hummer racing game. $2. Why not? But stuff that I didn't have in the collection, so happy to pick that up. Okay, this last stack was 40. This was another pawn shop that, a flea market actually, that did have like a gaming section at the front. And they advertised 10 to 50% off everything in the store. And when I asked, he said, oh, we'll go like 20% on these, but I'll try to make you a deal. And he did. It was $40 for 8 games, so it was about 5 a piece. Pretty good. It'd be better if I weren't an idiot, but you'll find out. The first one is Knight Rider. I had 7, so $5. Pretty good. Here's the part where I'm an idiot. Star Wars Demolition. I didn't check the case, so awesome. That's a PSA right there. Check your cases. I usually do too, so I didn't realize it until now that it was empty, which is a real bummer. But I usually do a better job of checking the cases. Even at game stores, you gotta check because sometimes they'll forget to put one in if you got a big stack, or they'll like resurface it and forget to take it out of the resurfacer. So that's my bad on that. That's too far to drive to try to get my money back anyway, so I'm not gonna do that. But definitely a bummer. Kind of an interesting looking game too. It's like a Vigilante 8 with Star Wars. But anyways, so kind of a bummer there. But everything else is here, I think. Steel Rain for the PS1. Let me do a quick check. Yep. Okay. Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. SimCity 2000. This one does have a little crack, noticing on the side, but why not? Picked it up. It's game there. Good. Picked up the Wii game, Harvest Moon: Magical Melody. Another one I've never played, but I do enjoy Harvest Moon, so might give it a shot at some point. I know some of them just aren't that good, but we'll see. Happy to pick this one up. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, which I guess he had 5 on anyway, but I actually have been looking for this because it's the only Grand Theft Auto I need still. So happy to get that. And Freaky Flyers, another good one, PS2. Very nice. So yeah, that was 40 after tax with the for all that. So pretty good. Definitely a lot of stuff for the collection. I'm happy to get PS1 always. I'm really trying hard on the PS1 collection at this point, and just got a few more. All right, so here's the last set of pickups that I had. Definitely some really good stuff in here, as you'll see. But basically just a few more stacks of stuff that I got from some random pawn shops. There's also some games I got through trade-in. So I was happy to be able to do that as well. Probably the most I spent at one place, it was $80. This one was a little bit iffy. I think it was a good idea because I got a lot of good SNES games from this. But one of the games was kind of a big title that I don't know if I should have spent the money on. But you know, it's all right. I don't know if I'll keep it or I might try to resell it to make up some of that cost. But it was one where went in to this pawn shop, picked out some stuff I was interested in, and you know, I mentioned, oh, would you do better on these prices? And you know, the guy kind of took that as, oh, let me go look them up. And instead of, you know, telling me individually on each item, you know, this is like, we have it listed as 10, I'll do 5. He just said like 80 for all of it. And that kind of took me off guard because, you know, I had to start thinking in my head, oh, what are these games worth to me? You know, what is, it's 8, or yeah, I'm sorry, it's 6 games. 6 games for $80. So, and you can see that's kind of really pushing it, but one of them is really good. So I went ahead with it. You know, you can kind of let me know if you think it was a good idea, if it was a good purchase. Maybe you'll see the big one at the end. So let me go ahead and start showing you. The first one was Super R-Type. And these SNES games are in good condition. You can see I had originally 10 on there. Back's a little ripped, but front's good. Alien 3. I had 15 on that originally. Final Fight. I was very happy to get a Final Fight. Good condition. Very nice. Star Voyager. I only had 5 on that, so. And Flight of the Intruder. So there's some NES games that I wanted to add to the collection. And the big one you can see here is Ys the Vanished Omens for the Sega Master System. So you can see there I had 40 on it. You know, it's in decent condition. The bottom is a little frayed. You might be able to see there. And the manual is also a little curly, but not bad. The cartridge looks okay. But yeah, that was kind of the big one where I think that because I asked about that, he didn't want to go down on the price, on the 80 price. So, you know, from there, like I said, it's about, I didn't get too much of a discount, and I got some good titles, but this one's kind of the big one, and I think price charge lists it as 65 complete. So 40 is not bad, but it's not the kind of thing I normally buy because I am trying to collect cheap right now. I'm not really going for, you know, these really expensive titles. I'm not trying to buy them. because it's just too much money for me to spend. So that one was a bit of an odd one, but I might try to resell it, recoup the cost, or I might keep it. I mean, this is actually my first Master System game, so it's kind of interesting to be able to say that I have one now, and a good title no less. To get used for that is pretty amazing. I've paid up for RPGs and stuff, so I'm not $5 or less on everything I buy. I'd like to be, but sometimes it's a little too tempting, Okay, so that was that one. Let me quickly go over. One pawn shop had $5 in this kind of weird case on a Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu DBA. Take it out of there. So pick that up. $5, why not? Add it to the collection. Here's a good one. This pawn shop, they had a bunch of nunchucks, and they did have a gold one for $5. So I thought it was actually pretty cheap. Usually nunchucks and Wii remotes are at places are usually at like 10 to 15. So I just picked up a gold one. Didn't have one. Picked up Tomb Raider 3. That was $5 as well. I did pick up The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I did that because they had it at $25, which is probably the lowest I've seen for a store to have The Legend of Zelda. And it's not like it's in bad condition or anything. It looks perfectly fine. And I haven't mean to play it, so went ahead and picked it up. 25 seemed pretty good, and I'm happy to add it to the collection because it's definitely something I want to go back to my Switch and start playing some of the games I haven't picked up yet. They also had Die Hard Vendetta for $3. Picked that up, full copy, pretty interesting. For the GameCube. Not really going for GameCube, but when I see cheap stuff, of course I'm going to pick it up. Especially since a lot of GameCube games are pretty high right now in price. Okay, next pickups were from another pawn shop where I was just kind of picking up stuff that was okay priced. I picked up Link to the Past 4 Swords for $10, pretty good. X Zone, this one doesn't have a top, interesting enough, but picked that for $5. It looks like it's a Super Scope game. And Resident Evil Revelations for the Wii U. I think I have like 3 copies of Resident Evil Revelations from this trip because I picked up 2 copies for PS3 that were like $3-4, and then I picked up that for $5. So kind of interesting, but I think the Resident Evils are worth picking up if you can get them cheap, just at least for the collection. Good titles to have. Paid up a little bit at one pawn shop for Beyond. This is like the Steelbook edition, so that was worth $7 to go ahead and pick it up. Beyond Two Souls. Definitely kind of nice little Steelbook collection going for PS3 and PS4. And I guess I do have one for PS2. Same for Silent Hill Downpour. Don't really see the Silent Hills, pretty cheap. I don't know what this one's worth, but figured it was worth it for $7. And they had Zombie U for $3, so I picked that up. Didn't have a copy yet. Figured it was worth it for $3, Okay, the last stack is actually from trade-ins. I went to one store where I already had credit, and I also took a tub, like I normally do. I take a tub of extra games and I traded it into another store while I was up north. And that way, it's just so that if they have stuff I want, I can trade it in and then get it, because their selection is usually better than what my local store is, or at least stuff that I'm really looking for, like RPGs and box games and stuff. So yeah, it's worth it to me if I have the time, just to turn in my stuff. Usually I'll go, and this time I wouldn't go. Checked out a pawn shop and a thrift store while I was waiting. Then I went back and then bought some stuff. So what I picked up was first was Operation Europe: Path to Victory. This is complete, pretty good condition. It's got a little bit of box wear, but otherwise very nice. I won't pull it out, but the cartridge and the manual are also in good condition. That was nice to pick up for the box collection. I think that's the only box I actually bought on the whole trip, if you don't count the Genesis and Master System games. So, pretty good. One store I went ahead and picked up Link's Awakening with the credit. I think I was really just trying to make sure I used all the credit so I wouldn't have to, remember that, at this specific store I have credit. So I didn't find anything cheaper than I wanted, so I went ahead and bought Link's Awakening. But that's nice. It's another, Switch game I'm definitely going to go and play at some point, so might as well get it with the trading credit that I had built up. Picked up Chaos Legion for the PS2. Interesting looking title. Capcom title. And I picked up Dragon Quest Swords for the Wii. Not sure how that one's going to play out with the Wii motion controls, but it was only 8, so I figured it was a good idea to pick up. And I also found Tales of the Abyss for PS2. I was very happy to see that, to be able to get another PS2 RPG. That's the kind of thing that I'm definitely looking for when I go to trade-in stores, because obviously I'm not going to find it for cheap very easily, so getting those RPGs is very nice. So I'm very happy to add that to the collection, kind of mark off another RPG on PS2. I'm getting pretty close. There's the more rare stuff like Arto and Echo and the Altarius series, Gross Lancer. I'm looking for that. Shining Force. All those PS2 games I'm still looking for. But nice to knock off another RPG. Okay, so that was it for that pickup. As you can see, I picked up quite a bit. That's what kind of almost a week worth of picking up does. I was going during like my lunch breaks and after I was done with work for the day. So it was really nice to be able to go around to these shops, and I kept up my marking the locations, saying, is this a good resource, bad resource, or just okay? Not that I'll probably be back up there anytime soon, but at least I know, okay, this store I marked as good, so I should definitely revisit in the future. But yeah, picked up quite a bit. Definitely a nice plethora of stuff, and a lot of older stuff too, which is nice, because sometimes I don't pick up many older stuff. But yeah, one box game and a few accessories. Good stuff.